coming into this tournament with a 214 average. Alright, so last shot I struck, I'm trying to stay a little bit more forward rolly with it, leaning forward, trying to get the ball as far down lane as possible before it hooks. That's your main goal when you're trying to throw on wood. Currently throwing the Eternity. It's a little wide, and that's exactly why you don't want to get it wide. I got that at about 13 of the arrows. You want to get it to about 15 or 16 right now. Keep everything squared. This particular shot's very tricky. Your hand is everything on this shot. I might actually try and move in, being that it looks like there is miss room right. This pair is really tough, guys. 21 and 22 ate up a lot of people in the last tournament over here. Both righties and lefties alike. This is one of those grind pairs, you know. You got to make sure that you keep clean. You know, unfortunately, I did miss one in the first frame, but got it out of the way. I got spares the rest of the way, spare or strike the rest of the way. That's all you can do on this pair. You know, you got to try and throw it as good as you can. Hope you can double on it. Hook a lot. Yes, got the double. David, I want to know how you left that. Oh, this is wide, but this is going to hook. Oh, I want that 4-pin so bad. All right. It's one of those I wish I had back on the first shot. We're gonna really keep these angles tight this game. Well, I'm staying in the Eternity right now, but I'm throwing it hard. So that way it just tips that last second. Come on. Ah, it's pretty good. Just a little around the solid. Good spare. Keep them clean. All right, again, want to keep this nice, tight, and simple. Nice and tight. Nice and easy. That's pretty good. No, that's hooking. Wow, that hooked up early. I don't know if y'all saw that, but that ball actually hooked up a little bit past the arrows. That ball didn't stand a chance. Not quite. Interesting, that ball didn't hook up. I did back off of it a little bit, and instead of it going high, it goes light. All right, nice, easy little 2-pin. Just like that. Made a little move inside where there's some oil. Struck, hoping that it stays like that though. I'm gonna get a little bit inside right here. See if I can hit this one. Oh, that's too deep. That's left. Missed that one way in. Way in. I just have to say I'm really glad that this is wood lanes because that would have never spared on synthetic. That's a big one. It's helpful now that I've got a little bit of motion. Ball changed way too late. All right, so what we were seeing was a little bit of over-under and very cliffed. It's like as if this pair had some carry down and the oil was just stripped away from the heads. So I had to move left and get in a stronger ball. And when I did that, that reaction happened.
So the tournament just concluded. What's your take on it?
Well, it wasn't easy today. I have to say that. Happy to make the first cut, but I barely survived that. I want to say I was like in 40th, and I needed to be 21st after 2 games, and or 27th after 2 games. And I only have one more to get into 27th. Luckily, I popped out a really nice 255 the last game, sneaking the cut, which the cut was 616. I ended up shooting 640 for my series. So that was a little bit of luck, also a little bit of skill involved in that. Made a ball change that really helped. I was trying to throw an eternity, which was skid flip motion, and try to just pipe the ball as far as I could down lane because of how dry the lanes were. The lanes went from blown up in the heads to all of a sudden we also had that, and there was carry down, so there was a lot of oil down lane. So my eternity stopped flipping off the back and got a little too weak, and I had to get to a ball that was a little bit weaker than the eternity, but still had enough energy to really have a nice pop at the back and finish for me. Sure enough, I switched to the Ion Pro, and that gave me what I needed to get through. Going into round 2, unfortunately, things just didn't fall my way. The pins, I had a really good start with the front 4, and unfortunately I lost the left lane. Tried to make a couple of adjustments on it, but just couldn't quite get it done in time. And then going over to my next pair, I finished with a 205, by the way, on the first lane. Second game, start off with a strike, and then I threw my next shot and saw too much early hook, and the ball just died on me, left me a pocket 710. Tried to move around, make a couple ball changes, but by then it was too little too late.
I noticed that a lot today. The balls were hooking way too early.
Yeah.
People came out and they started throwing their strong balls, and then by the end of it, everybody was throwing pretty much bottom of the barrel, weakest ball you could get, so you can get the length further down lane, correct?
Exactly, exactly. I ended up throwing an older ball that's discontinued, but I keep it in the bag for reasons like this. The IQ Nano Tour Pearl from Storm, it's a really good ball for me. It's a pearl, but it's also kind of a matte finish. I leave it lane shine though, so that way I can get a nice smooth, but still slightly sharper back in case I ever need it. But for situations like this, and I should have thrown it a little bit earlier. I strung the back 4, unfortunately for a 179, but you know, it is what it is at this point.
I didn't bowl. I've officially never bowled in a tournament. I was a little scared, I'm not gonna lie. I figured most tournaments, growing up, I figured all tournaments were like PBA bowlers. I'm gonna be bowling against people that are throwing 280s, 290s, and that's not the case. If you're afraid to bowl your first tournament, shake the fear off, get in there and do it, because your handicap typically is gonna play a portion into it. But for us, our house shot is on a synthetic lane, and this is wood. I can tell you now, the ball reaction is way different. Was not expecting it.
Absolutely. The ball reaction from synthetic to wood is definitely different. Just to give you a quick idea, synthetic lanes, they definitely go a lot longer down the lane, whereas wood lanes, rule of thumb around here is basically expect the ball to hook at least 3 feet sooner than you think you would see on synthetic lanes versus wood lanes.
We do want to give a shout out to the people that allowed us to film them today in the tournament.
That was Greg, as well as Greg Snee. And then we had Cody, Aaron, David as well, and Christian.
Christian, who's standing over here right now, actually placed 8th. You barely missed the cut, man, but congratulations to everybody that placed today, and we'll see you next time.